So, no, that's not right. Wait, wait. No, there it is. Alright, so, I'm still doing the debate questions because I, I am. I don't know why I felt like I had to come up with a reason for that because I don't. Anyway, I'm gonna do the next questions now. I don't know what's wrong with me. Well, I know what's wrong with me. I just don't know what's wrong with me right now. Anyway, you okay? Okay. Alright, so the first one is for Kamala Harris. You've just introduced your own version of Medicare for All, which would allow corporations to offer competing healthcare plans. In the last Democratic debate on NBC in June, you raised your hand when you asked if your healthcare proposal would abolish private insurance. And on this network in January, you said, let's eliminate all of that. What's with the flip-flop? Also, the private insurance option you're advocating is modeled on the Medicare Advantage plans that are available for seniors right now. But you are aware, aren't you, that those plans have been accused of overbilling the U.S. taxpayer and denying claims to maximize profits. So it sounds like, at first I didn't want this to happen at all, but then I got approached with an idea to make more money off of an also broken system. Now I decided to cover everyone under that even more broken system, which might or might not be true, but it's most likely true. And now someone, because of my terrible ability to keep track of what I've been saying, has caught me in my very obvious lie. But what I'm going to most likely say is I've reflected on my actions and understand that the American people want something, so I'm willing to accommodate them, and I'm trying my best to do it in a cost-effective way, which is garbage, because there's plenty of things that this country does that is not cost-effective. So why is it only with healthcare that we all of a sudden decide that we don't have enough money for everything? Alright. Next question is for Sanders. You often point to opinion polls showing majority support for Medicare for all, while ignoring polls showing how the support plummets when voters are told it could lead to higher taxes. Isn't implementing Medicare for all much harder than you make it out to be? Also, it failed in your own state of Vermont. Didn't it? Well, alright, one, of course it's going to... Of course the polls plummet for taxes. No one wants taxes. What's the... What did you prove? You didn't prove anything. No one wants new taxes. But the people who are answering those polls are only the people answering the polls for the taxes. The people who are answering the polls for Medicare for all are the people who have to pay these bills, which we all know is insanely higher than the taxes would be, even if the taxes are crazy high. Because going to the doctor and the hospital is insane, and we all know it. But when it comes to Medicare for all, we all talk. Everyone just starts throwing out, oh, but the taxes. It's all stupid expensive. The taxes don't mean anything. So what if the taxes are more expensive? That's also why we have to fix the economy in general. That also proves why I have to fix the economy in general. So yes, thank you for proving my point about other stuff that I'm also talking about. Let's see. This one's for Biden. Why are you borrowing Republican talking points to attack Medicare for all? You said, for example, that seniors would lose all the Medicare they currently have. But that's a lie, isn't it? Sounds like it is. Again, I don't know. No, also, I have no idea where this is coming from because that's all the question asked. It sounds like that's definitely a lie. I don't even know. I don't even know where Biden got this information. I can't even come up with an answer for this. I have no idea where this is coming from. This sounds like he definitely made that up simply to make somebody happy. So there you go. Let's see. The next question is for Warren and O'Rourke. I think it's O'Rourke, but I actually might not be able to pronounce that correctly. You have accused Israel Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu of racism. As President of the United States, how would you push back against his racism? I don't know what he's done that brought this up. And at the very least, you would just try to correct him in general. I don't know what this obsession is with interfering with everybody else that's like not here. I mean, not so what? Well, yeah, so what? There are people who are racist here. We have to fix their behavior. We have to deal with them too. I mean, I get that it's uncomfortable, and maybe it's bad. I don't know. I don't see it. I don't know the man, but it's like, why are you making this their responsibility? Like, he's not their child. Now, I guess it's because you've accused him of racism, which, that's irrelevant. I mean, you can accuse anyone of racism. It doesn't make it your responsibility to fix. It, at the very least, it was a statement about his actions in regards to a certain subject. That doesn't mean I have to take responsibility to fix it. It was an observation or criticism at best. So, yeah. I'm not... At the very least, I guess you would deal less with him until he corrected his behavior. But I don't know in what regards, because I have no idea what any of the dealings they have are. Because again, I don't pay attention to politics in reality because they're boring and they drive me crazy. This next question is for Biden. You've called Netanyahu a friend. Do you disagree then that he's a racist? No. I mean, he probably somehow tried to push back against that, and I'm sure it's just a misunderstanding of cultural differences on their part, or whatever garbage that he said. In reality, no. I mean, we're friends, and he's a racist. And whatever dealings we have nothing to do with me, because he's not racist towards me. And that's really all that matters. Let's see, and the next question is for everyone except Sanders. Which is, Sanders said last week that he would absolutely leverage U.S. aid in order to put pressure on the Israel government to stop the occupation. Why is he wrong? And what would you do, rhetoric aside, to get the Israelites to stop demolishing Palestinian homes, building illegal settlements, and killing protesters in Gaza? I mean, honestly, I don't really know, because I agree with Sanders, but for the sake of this conversation, I guess I would have to say something along the lines of you can't leverage U.S. aid for your own personal ideals, even though you could totally do that because they do it all the time. But that's not the point. The point is, it's always a double standard when it's coming from my perspective, and it's against the others. So yes, within that regard, he's definitely wrong. Now, I have no idea what they would have said that they would have done, because it definitely would have been some garbage that they pulled out of thin air. So, I'm just gonna sit here for the next 23 seconds. Yeah, 23 seconds. And I'm gonna act like I know what I'm talking about, even though I'm literally just expelling carbon dioxide out of my lungs and acting like I know what I'm talking about because I'm a pompous asshole. But that doesn't really matter at this point, because in the true regard of everything, all that really matters is that we all come together and we can get this done. I think that was 23 seconds. Alright. Let's see. The next question is for Biden. You often tout your unique experience as a former vice president and former senator, but as chair of the Senate Judiciary Committee, you dropped the ball in Supreme Court Justice Clarence Thomas's confirmation hearings, and as chair of the Senate Foreign Relations Committee, you provided cover for President George W. Bush's invasion of Iraq. What's the point of a long record in office if it's one of failure and misjudgment? Wow! That was an atomic bomb. That is amazing. Like I said, I'm going to answer these like as I would. I don't know. Man, whew. It's not really fair when you bring out the past accomplishments that it's not really fair when you bring out the past failures that I made when I was talking about my past accomplishments. I'm really going to need you to focus on the good things that I've done, which, granted, I don't think there are that many, but I'm sure that there's somewhere if you look hard enough. So I'm going to need you to take that fine-tooth comb and brush past all of the negative things that I've done and find like one of the good things. That would be really useful to me. Alright, next question for Warren. You used to be a registered Republican and a die-hard conservative. According to high school friends, and didn't register as Democrat until the age of 47. Why? Well, I don't actually know why, so I'm just going to make up some excuse from my perspective. I don't know how old Warren is. She's like 50 or 60 something, right? Which only would have, like 20 years ago? I don't know if she's that old. I don't know how old she is, but it's irrelevant. Let's just say that this was like 10 years ago and go from there. So 10 years ago. Oh, well at that point, doesn't that make it like, no, not, well, yeah. God, I'm terrible with time. That makes it, Bush's fault, right? Well, at least the whole administration that Bush ran. At that point, you would have been a Republican beforehand, and then Bush got elected, and that's when you switched. Then again, I don't know how old Warren is. I could be wildly off. But at that point, it just sounds like you were unhappy with the political party at the time, so then she just switched over. I mean, I don't know why it's so difficult to understand, because that's definitely what happened. Regardless of who it was, you were either disillusioned by your party, you were either disillusioned at the time by the Republican Party, or you decided that the Democratic Party was better by their own standing. It's one or the other. I mean, there are only the two answers. I mean, is there a natural reason? Maybe. It also could. There also might not be. I mean, who really cares at this point? Ah, and the last one is for Sanders and Biden. If elected, you'd be the oldest president in U.S. history, older than President Ronald Reagan when he left office, possibly suffering from dementia in 1989. Should voters be worried about your physical or mental health? Also, don't Jimmy Carter. Oh, didn't Jimmy Carter, Bill Clinton, and Barack Obama's victories over the past 4 decades suggest that Democrats do better in presidential elections with younger, fresher candidates? I mean, maybe, but that's only I mean, probably, but that's only in regards to that most people that are younger within that area are Democrats. I mean, it's not so much as they have to be younger, it's that when people run Democrat, well, when people run, they have to be able to connect with their audience. Now, it's easier for Republicans to connect because Republicans connect on a, I don't want to call it Republican level because that's not a thing, but they just connect on general being them, which is fine. But Democrats, I don't know what's wrong with the Democratic Party and the people who try to run, because they just, like, pander to people in, like, such a terrible way. It just makes them seem like they don't really understand who it is that they're trying to get to vote for them. Like Hillary was awful at it. It was sad. But, it's not really the fact that they wouldn't vote for people that were older. It's the fact that people that are older, at least on a wide scale, have trouble connecting with younger people. And as far as should they be worried, I mean, so what? The guy who's currently younger, who's president now, seems to have a bunch of mental issues. I mean, that could be a problem for people that could be the problem for the people their age. So, yeah. I mean, we could all die tomorrow. It doesn't really make any difference, does it? I mean, not making it till tomorrow isn't an excuse to not want to run or not vote someone in. I mean, who cares? Alright, I almost went to the next one, but then I remembered that I didn't want to do anymore, so bye. This stupid mouse, I swear.